Hash Info. How you doing? Got some news. The roads are starting to get washed out in a couple areas in BC now. It's starting again. This is going to be one heck of a winter. BC is flooding and winter's about to start, so I don't understand. Are they not going to get relief until, summertime? Because spring can't be good for BC. I don't even think they've thought about that yet, but I'm telling you, if we're in winter and we get any sort of precipitation sitting on the ground, if we get a fast melt, a fast thaw, BC could be doing this for years. So you may not want to move to West Coast. You may want to consider Central Canada. Let's hope that a lot of the states is very dry, so that when the water does come your way, you're able to soak it up. Hopefully you can use a lot of diversion techniques, waterways, little streams and riverbeds every 40-50 miles. Create another stream, another riverbed. Dig some monster waterways. Create some floodways where you don't have any elevation. Create a floodway there and force the elevation. Create elevation so that you can create a slant for the water to flow away from the cities, away from your roads, right? Jeez, we got some serious planning to do, and it sounds like it's a lot of aerial planning. Mapping of the terrain will be needed. Understanding of underground aquifers and underground waterways or ancient underground aquifers, something like that. We have to look at where the water used to go. Now it's all dried up. Let's get it back where it used to go, right? The whole problem was, I've said this before 5-10 times, shouts out David Suzuki. He has pointed it out that a lot of the electric companies in the world, especially in North America, have diverted a lot of the water into main waterways, far exceeding their height. The sea level, it's above sea level in these areas. This is man-made problems we have to fix. So we got to start doing this right away, sooner than later. Make sure you hit that like button, share the video. Unless you're a scumbag, get it going, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to keep these short and sweet. BC is under attack, and we got to help. I know BC would help out Manitoba in a heartbeat, so I'm here for you. Always will be. Stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned. We're going to figure out ways we can help out. Sooner than later, we got to get some changes made here. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of reggae going. Play for you my favorite song. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers, all the new Patreons. Thank you. Come on! Thank you, Rastaman. I'll see you next time. Hashman out. If you are in the province of BC and you can go sandbag and help out a community or a home, go help out. I've been sandbagging since 1997. I live in what's known as the Pembina Valley. Very, very dangerous here. I live on the Red River. The Red River flows from Canada all the way to the back of Mississippi. Isn't that interesting? And then let me tell you, the Red River is a mess here. By the time it hits Mississippi, whew, I don't even know how that's considered water. So we got to fix our waterways as well. One way you can do that is by purifying and clarifying the water with limestone and other aggregates, sand, porous stone. Stone is a great way, is a beautiful filter. Now, yes, the stone is full of not so awesome stuff, but maybe then we like lift that stone out in some sort of cage. Think of like a lobster trap, but it's full of stone, porous stone, small stones that are porous, and then you pull that out and put in a new cage every year. It's kind of like you're changing a furnace filter. And I think that's going to be the new thing. We are going to have to clean and cleanse our waterways every 50 miles, every 50 feet, whatever we can figure out, right? But the same way we learned to pave roads, to walk on, to drive on, to bike on, we must now learn to cleanse and purify our waterways. We have detrimentally, horribly decimated our waterways. The purity of our water is very bad. You can find caffeine in a lake, you know. This is not good. Pharmaceutical pills in a lake, in lake water, you know. What have we done? So, something else I've been wanting to talk about, I haven't got around to show yet. VOCs, volatile organic compounds. So it turns out VOCs, let's say you have a pillow, a bamboo pillow, and this pillow is grown with what I have always referred to since the day I started this show, but I've been spouting this, talking, preaching this for decades. Synthetic fertilizers will be our downfall. Wow. Now it turns out synthetic fertilizers are responsible for VOCs, volatile organic compounds. So what that means is, I guess the organic compound being bamboo and the volatility coming from the synthetic nature, which is radioactive fertilizers. Holy crap, you combine the two, grow a plant, and then you know, what is it called when you use the fibers of the plant? You process the plant, you know, into fibrous cloth, you know, something, it's textures, what do they call it? Textiles, the textile industry. So this has gotten too far now. We've allowed this to go on. Someone knew about this, eh? Like, how could I just be against synthetic fertilizers since I was 19, 15, 16 years old, 1995, 96, 99. How could I be that against synthetic fertilizers? 2021, VOCs are caused from inferior fertilizers, non-veganic fertilizers. We got to fix this. I've been speaking about veganics a very long time. Um, Organics is great, but veganics is better. Don't use fish guts. Where do fish guts come from? How do you get a bottled nutrient that contains fish guts? A processing plant. Where does the fish guts come from? From the processing plant, from a fish processing facility where they kill hundreds of thousands of fish a day. So what you're doing is causing a mass destruction. You've created a business out of them killing the fish, taking the fillet, profiting off of it. But that's not enough. Now they realize, who cares about the fillet? We can just profit off the fish itself. We ain't even gonna sell the fillet anymore. We can just compact the whole fish, call it fish guts, and make a fortune. So we have allowed this. You have to stop buying, stop purchasing. You should grow with nothing that contains more than dandelion dust, you know? Fairy farts and lily petals, you know? It's time to change, you know? Nitrogen from potatoes is inferior, but alfalfa nitrogen isn't, right? So look at all these different things. There are hundreds of thousands of nitrogen rich single source plants in the world. Go find one, you know? Grow your own nitrogen, period. So, did you know there is actually a plant that you can grow in your garden that actually has little nitrogen sacs attached to the tap roots? I've known about this since about 99, 2000. It's an incredible plant that some farmers, I should say, proper farmers, grow to amend their crops for the next season. It's incredible. They don't have to use a combine or a tiller to till in the cow crap and the bone and the blood meal and the mycorrhiza, which comes from bones and this and that. I can't think of what it's called, but anyway. Look, a lot of information coming out here, but most of you're not going to get all of it. You're going to have to watch us 2-3 times and stop and pause it and write these keywords down. Go check it out. None of this is a lie. 100% facts. I'm a boss. Agriculture, I might not know every single thing, but I'm telling you there's mistakes, problems, and I could fix them all. But the problem is they don't want a fixer. They want basically the opposite, a greedy, money-hungry, careless, and lack of intellect entirely to run agriculture industries across the planet and globe. Facts. Look around you. Look at our industries right now. Look how they're crumbling because the people in charge are still growing, they're not growing plants. They're farming sheep, cows, and pigs, chickens worldwide. Mexico, they have monstrous super farms for cows. They're so behind. The Americans that run it, Canadians that run these places. It's crazy what's out there. Go check it out. Do some research. And not just there. Brazil burned down the whole country so they could farm there. Think about it. Like cattle farms. They burned down the entire Amazon forest so they could farm there. Look it up. Do some research. It's all right in front of you. The reason we have all this flooding is because the trees are dying, and the trees drink 4,000 liters of water each minimum a day. And that's not even for the big trees. You get these monster trees that can drink 20,000 liters of water a day on a hot day. This is ridiculous what's happening. And it's all man-made, self-destruction, because most people in BC aren't planting trees every day. You want to save your province, plant some trees. Again, I'm a boss. Agriculture's my thing. I don't know every single thing. I don't have a book smarts with a degree in agriculture. But, bud, you're failing with your degree
in your background in agriculture, in your political realm, you've been in the agriculture industry for 10 years in BC and you failed. 20 years you've been in the agriculture industry. Look what you did to it. Give me 5 years in that sector. I'll completely revamp it, make it beautiful. My Dr. Green Thumbs here are potent. I'll pass on my traits to 1,500 people a day. But the problem is they don't want that. They want some greasy bugger that steals from you, that puts a single price on your entire weed industry, which is a low one, then turns around and sells it to another country at 50 times the price they bought it from you from. There's no excuse for that. It's highway robbery. But the person in the middle shouldn't be there. Everything about a middleman is disgusting. But if you look at all these industries, there isn't just one middleman. There's like 40 guys in the middle that make money off you. You're the one that grew it. You crop it out. You take it, you cure it, you put it in a bin that you pay $400,000 a year for to heat and cool and pay for filtration and upgrades and repairs, new silos, and then some dick makes 5 million off you in 1 month, and you didn't make 5 million in 10 years. Think about it. This whole system is a sham. So, how do you fix it? You stop selling to these scumbags and start your own board. You know, it's been talked about for years. Even then, you'll still get some creepy dude, fingers in, or a creepy chick. Doesn't matter. It just takes one person to sell you out, right? As soon as you form a board and you point someone above you, they sell you out. They backdoor deal you every time. This world is meant for you to be a boss, your own boss in every way. The minute you aren't, someone profits off your back when you go to work for someone else. You're worth way more than you give yourself credit for. Never forget that. I think about, what I've made for wages and stuff in my life, and then I think about like what I actually do, and I'm like, man, have I been ripped off, undervalued, underappreciated my entire life. And it doesn't matter by who or when. Seriously, like way smarter than 90% of the employers I've ever had. And here I am working for them and they can't appreciate me, that they're making money off me. It has to be at a certain amount, 150% profit for them, 50% for me, and that's off a 200%, we're talking about a 200%, round figure. You want to back that up, you're talking 3 to 1. I'm making 30%, they're making 70. So I don't know how someone thinks that that's fair. And certain industries it gets worse, right? If you're an electrician or in concrete, like there's a bunch of industries where if you work for someone, but you just see them standing there the entire day, but they take the big check and pay you 20%, 12% of what their check is. And they're like, oh yeah, but I got yeah, but you got all that stuff you can sell at the end of the day too, bud. You made way more than me. Doesn't matter if you're an electrician, if you, well, see, I'll give you industries where, like, if you're on the phones, technically you're not going to really be making, like, a ton more money than your boss. You may make, you know, your boss is making way more than you, but not always. McDonald's too. Like sometimes your boss at McDonald's might only be making like $2 more, could be making $4 or $5 more, but how long have they been doing it and how much older are they than you and do they have any credentials to get them that wage, right? That does get figured in, factored in. Well, I'll give you an example. Let's take a big guy, an 18-year-old kid weighs 200 pounds and he can lift concrete all day. How much is he worth if he works a 12-hour shift and he works 7 days a week, for 10 months of the year? He's getting ripped off. I'll give you another example. An electrician that works for a company will make between $15, $25 an hour, depending if he's an apprentice, maybe not 15, maybe 18 to $30 an hour at best ever. If you go start your own business, you could make 60, 80, $100 an hour. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're looking at like an 8 times increase in price, minimum. Now, something that goes into being an electrician, you got to pay for school. Plus, you have to actually have drive, right? Like the person who's an 18-year-old was played sports or worked out. You know, he just doesn't be able to lift that much concrete for 12 hours a day constantly. He's not a boss. He's a huge, thick brick house, right? So you earn that body, right? Just like someone earns the mind to do electrician stuff, right? There's more though. You get carpentry in there. Is a carpentry and concrete and electrician the same. Those three, you get ripped off. If you do that for a guy, you do it yourself, you make way more. Way more. Talking about in a week, you make $10,000 if you're 7 days a week, 12-hour, 16-hour days. You can make 10 grand. Easy 10 grand. But you might not make that. You might have some building materials or some tool rental fee costs attached to that, but you make about $7,000-8,000 a week. You know, if you're pro, you can make more than that too, but you just have to have the right clientele. But and the right, you know, you gotta have the right craft. But think about the options you have. You know, don't just like constantly undervalue yourself. The more I think about it, you know, I can't believe this world is the way it is, you know? Business people, most of the time, are ripping off their employees. Most of the time. If you're in business, you are making hand over fist money while people do all the work. Seriously, I'll give you an example. You come up with an online business, and then you find someone to run your phone line for 11, 12 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour, and do all the sales and take all the customer service calls. One person for sales, one person for customer for complaints, or you know, sales and customer service, whatever. And they never have to touch the business. Do you get that? And you could be making $20,000 a month easily. It could be at a zero on the end of that. But the other person's making like $500 a week, and they do everything. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It should be that's the whole concept of money. The more I realize and see the division between a worker and an employer, it's like 9 to 1, 10 to 1 all the time, wage wise. It could be drastically higher when you're talking corporate jobs. Drastically. You could be talking 400, 2,000 to 1 for a person on the phone to the president or the VP or whatever, a company. Like their bonus could be worth like 50 people's jobs, right? If they're all part-time or whatever. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. I can't figure out how people haven't figured out some way. It makes me think people are really not that bright. It really does. Not everybody, but when you can't sit back, when you can't kick back and think about this, because you got this New York City mentality of either you play too much Call of Duty or like, you know, there's I got a bunch of reasons, but none of them are flattering because it's gonna fit a lot of people's feet when I start saying things, eh? and you'll think I'm talking about you, but really I'm talking about everybody. And, I said Call of Duty, so I've outed myself. But go look, I don't spend that much time playing Call of Duty, and I'm doing it. This is like actually I'm good at it. You can hate me because I'm good at it. I'm not good. I'm great. I'm amazing. I am actually making money off this. Literally, gaming is part of my job. Hate me all you want. I make money off gaming. I'm sorry. I I didn't choose this. Like it happened. This is a path I'm on right now. I didn't. I don't brag about making like I don't sit there and go. I get a lot of people. I get a lot of hate, and I'm not stupid. And you gotta shut up. You gotta stop because I'll start picking on you, and I'll say, you know what? You're jealous, and I'll explain. I'll out you. You don't want that because I'll hurt your feeling. Like, what are you doing to me when you say that stuff to me? You're trying to hurt my feelings, but it doesn't work because your IQ is small. I fit your IQ on two dice and roll them, and at best you're getting 7. I'm sorry, facts. But on the other side, you can grow. You can become an intellect of some sort. I get that it's not for everybody, to be as high intellect as Einstein or even half the intellect of a dung beetle. But try. No, don't try. Do, right? But you gotta do, and how do you do it? This is the part. This is the part. You have to figure that out. But do it. Figure it out. Figure out how you're going to get smarter. Figure out ways to care about nature and where you are. The footprint, not the footprint you're leaving, but the footprint that is here. Every time you step, you made a footprint. Make sure the footprint that you just stepped is a clean footprint in every way. So, I'm doing better. I have over the years fixed a lot of areas that I thought, I don't recycle enough. I try not to purchase plastic. I really try not to use plastic things. I love glass. Glass breaks down into nothing, so it's kind of cool. Dust, but plastic leaches, right? Microplastics get into the waterways, gets absorbed by plants. Plants then fall, and there's these tiny plastics that are then dust that get in the waterways. So I don't know. There's a bunch of ways to fix things, but no one's trying to do any of them. And every time you hear a company or a person diss a product that is vegan or an organic product that is it's non-synthetic, try and look at it outside. Like, raise yourself up and look down on the whole situation. I'll give you an example. Almond drink. People hate on almond drink. But did you know that all milk products, cheese, yogurt, milk, creams, have been killing the earth at 5,000 times? Almonds, an almond drink. But you don't hear anyone saying that. It's basically like having cows smoke cigarettes and then your baby drink the milk. Like, it's that bad. All day, like cows smoking cigarettes, giving your baby milk right after. But nobody talks about it. But do you want to know why? because the people who make it possible for the story about almond drink to get out are fearful for all their companies and all their small farms across Canada and the United States of America that they're going to go bust because no one's buying their products anymore. Everybody opened up their eyes. These people, these corporations, are enslaving. Remember we talked about the employer? They hire people from other countries to come in to run their farms. Like, you people, you have lost your shit. You actually are creating your demise, not through the drinking of milk, but the supporting of a corporation that is 5 people controlling 90% of the world's currency. Stop it. Stop.